Now, where are you from?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Still living there?
Yes.
Still in Fayetteville.
2-6.
For somebody not familiar with Fayetteville, what's the closest major city to it?
Well, Raleigh. Yeah, Raleigh is our capital. So yeah, Raleigh would be the closest major city.
How far is that distance?
Some people say they can get in 45 minutes, but I think it's about an hour and some change, about an hour and 15 minutes.
Also, Charlotte's not
Charlotte,
too far away.
Charlotte about 2.5 hours. That's that's the biggest city in our state, so it'll be Charlotte, but Raleigh's the capital, and the closest is about an hour and some change.
Growing up in Fayetteville, what was that like for you? Can you paint that picture for us?
I mean, Fayetteville is Fayetteville, man. I mean, it's ups and downs, and you know, I think it got all the qualities of a major city, just in a smaller version. From you know what I mean, from everything, from music to women to the culture to whatever is just on a smaller platform. You know what I mean, to everything. Small town.
Was it a rough upbringing for you, just thinking back?
Yeah. I definitely wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth.
What was your roughest moment?
Roughest moment?
Growing up.
Growing up ever in life?
For you, yeah. Toughest moment? Hardest moment?
That's a tough question, because I had a lot of moments. I had a lot of moments, man, so I'm not sure. So,
well, what's one you could share with us?
One moment, the earliest moment would be probably my dad going to prison. My dad went to prison when I was 6, and he came home when I was 20. So, like, you know, me and my dad was like, you know what I mean, 2 peas in a pod. Like, I was a super daddy boy. So when my dad left going to prison, that shit was just like, you know, and I was so young, but it was just like, that fucked me up. That really, really fucked me up. Then after that, it kind of was like, I ain't gonna say my life was downhill, because I was only 6, but it didn't get much better.
I mean, 6 years old to 20, these are pivotal moments for a young guy.
Correct.
From a boy growing up to a man.
Correct.
Do you remember when you got taken or had to go in back then, or was it kind of a blur for you?
I can't, it's kind of a blur. I remember our crib getting hit, but I can't remember if that's the time they actually took him, because our crib might have got hit a couple times. But I don't remember if that's the exact time they took him. But I remember our crib getting hit and them taking them or whatever, and then, like, you know, just not seeing them no more. Then my mom having to break down, like, yo, you're not gonna see him for a while. And then finally going to see him, and he like, yo, you're not gonna see me for a while, but I love you more than anything in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every time we would talk on the phone, he'd be like, yo, who love you more than me? There's only one person that love you more than me. And I'd be like, God. And he'd be like, that's right. Like, you know what I mean? That was just our thing or whatever. So yeah, like my dad leaving, that shit, that probably was neck and neck or number one with my worst childhood memory.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
How often were you able to communicate with him through the years, from 6 to 20?
I mean, we would talk. He would call the crib or whatever, you know what I mean, or call my grandmother or my mother or whatever, and we would get to talk. But I didn't see him that much. Like, I maybe his whole bid, I might have seen him 10 times maybe.
He was in state prison, or?
Nah, he was in Fed.
Fed.
Yeah, he was in Fed.
If you don't mind me asking, what did he get locked up for?
He was a street pharmacist. Like he was like in that first wave of like big street pharmacists from my city back in the late 80s, early 90s, you know what I mean? And yeah, he went down with that.
From what I've heard, North Carolina has some tough laws.
Yeah. Well, the feds is the feds, man. That's all the way around the globe. Like, if they catch you with your hands in the cookie jar, they gonna bury your ass. You know what I mean? That's how I was raised up, and knowing like the niggas that I seen before me or whatever, whenever they went down and it was federal, like it won't good. So you know what I mean? And the first person I seen with that was my father.
Now, you did have a good relationship though, even though he was locked up.
Yeah, we had a dope relationship, man. It was just so much love or whatever. And as I grew, at first I'm 6 years old. I don't understand why my father had to be taken away from me. But as I grew older, I understood what was going on. Like he was providing for his family. Granted, it wasn't illegal. I mean, it wasn't legal, and there was other things he could have did. But I got the big picture, like, you know what I mean? So I understood it a little bit better, but I still didn't think it was fair. Like, you know, I used to play ball and shit, so that was always one of my things. Like, when I looked in the crowd, I wanted to see my father, and, you know what I mean? Just things like that.
I've done interviews where, you know, somebody's had their parent taken away, in this case your father, and it's the opposite reaction. You know, they don't have a good relationship with their father for whatever the reasons may be, and it's just when the father comes home and tries to be the parent and that sort of thing, and also, you know, difference in age and all that stuff. But people that I've done interviews with very long bids, I've seen a reaction such as yours that's very understanding, and I've seen the opposite. Right.
I mean, it's a lot of niggas. It's a lot of niggas that have fathers. Like, I got a homeboy, and he never met his father. You know what I mean? At our age, he never even met his father. That's a whole different story. If he tried to come around now, and I never met you X amount of years, now you trying to come around, opposed to you being taken from me. You was doing what you was supposed to do, but you got taken from me for, you know what I mean, providing for your family or going the extra mile and, you know what I mean, going against the law. So to me, it's two different things, and I feel like it take understanding to understand that or whatever. So I was never mad with my father at all, period. Like, you know what I mean? I respected my father. I love my father. Me and my father still got an awesome relationship. Like, nah, so that was never the case to me. But, I mean, people just have different emotional ties. Like, I got an older brother, 7. I mentioned him in a lot of the songs or whatever. He, when 7 left, 7 got like 16 years too. 7 been gone for like 9 years. When he left, I was upset with him because me and 7 was like this. So, and he was my older brother. Like I said, it was after my uncles died and went to jail and my daddy went to jail, it was just us. So when he left me, I felt like, damn, this nigga left me. Like, it's just me, I'm out here dolo. So, you know what I mean? His first, like, couple years or year, whatever, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, you gone, but you didn't leave me intentionally, you know what I mean? It just happened, you know what I mean? So it just depends on the person and the relationship and the understanding of the situation.
Was it just visitation physically and phone calls, or was there ever letter writings between you two?
Between me and my dad, yeah, because that was back when. Like, my dad came home like probably a couple of years ago. So he wrote letters and called a lot. But you know, now they got like the internet shit where you can send the core links and the messages through the Gmail and shit. Like actually you can send actual text messages. Like, I got a little brother too, K Black, shout out to K Black. He texts me like I'm like a regular motherfucker texting. He texts me back and forth all day. So like, and he in Fed prison too. So yeah, they updating the shit now.
Now, when he actually came home for the first time, what was that moment like? Can you take us back to that? Like what you were feeling, what you were going through, and how it happened, how you finally got a chance to see him?
It was bittersweet. I mean, of course I was happy my dad was home, but it was kind of like I had already chose my path, like what I was going, you know what I mean? I was already like affiliated with different shit. I was already doing different shit. So at this time, I don't need no nigga coming home trying to tell me, yo, you need to do this or, you know what I mean? So he pretty much came home as my homeboy, and I love him for that, because he never even came home on no shit like, yo, you need to, you know what I mean, whoop-de-woo or this or that. He came home like, yo, I know I've been gone. I'm your daddy, but I ain't about to get out here and try to play daddy like, you know what I mean? Because shit, you know what I'm saying? By this time, he left when I was 6. He came home, I was 20. So, you know what I mean? It was just, we just got each other. We just understood it. But it was bittersweet because, like I said, he missed the moments like the basketball games and the proms and the, you know, losing my virginity and shit, fucking with bitches and just little shit like that. Like, that shit matters to me, man. Like, so he missed that. So it was bittersweet that he came home after all of that shit.
When you actually did see him for the first time outside of those bars, was it emotional? Was it nervous? Was it excitement? Was it happy? Was it?
I think it was all of the above, like, you know what I mean? Because you really don't know this person, you know what I mean? Like, he been gone since I was 6 years old. I'm 20 now. Like, I know you through text messages and, you know what I mean, messages and letters and shit and phone conversation, but I really don't know you, you know what I mean? That's like me meeting a motherfucker on Facebook that live in California and we fucking talk and text for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know you, you know what I mean? So it was just that feel. So I was all of the above. I think I was nervous, scared, excited, like, you know, emotional. I don't know exactly what kind of, like I said, I don't know if he about to be on some daddy shit. Nigga, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I was all of the above, man. But it worked out, though. Like I said, we got a dope relationship. It worked out.
Was there another male figure in your life while he was gone?
My older brother, 7. But he's in jail right now. He doing fair time right now, too. But he'll be on real soon, like in a couple months. But he been gone 9 years.
What age were you when he was taken?
I think I was about 20.
Oh.
He came, actually, he left like literally like a year or a couple months after my dad came home. And it was crazy because we went to pick my dad up. Me and him went to pick my dad up. And then he leaves a couple months after my dad gets out of jail. Crazy shit, man.
Ironic.
Yeah, crazy as fuck.
Somebody watching this and they have a parent that's doing some serious time. Circumstances could be different for everybody, but any general advice you have to somebody, and ages could be different, of course, and that sort of thing, but is there any general advice you have for somebody that, hey, their parents got to do?
They got a parent behind the wall. I mean, just uplift them, man. Like, the situation's so fucked up and the judicial system's so fucked up, man, in America, man. Like, just uplift them, man. Like, you don't know what them people get up going through in the morning, especially if they fell for non-violent crimes, you know what I mean? Like drugs, like they'll give a motherfucker 20, 30 years for drugs and it was non-violent. And in my mind, motherfuckers just trying to provide for their family, you know what I mean? They might didn't have the high school or the college education, so I'm providing the best way I know. Then you take me from my family, I don't get to see my kids, my daughter, my son go to prom, be in the sports, karate, whatever, you know what I mean? And now the child, they don't got the proper understanding, so they gotta, like you said, they got a hate-love relationship for their parent. They love them because that's their parent, but they hate them for not being around. And then the mother play a big part, or even the father, because there's a lot of people with mothers in jail and they father got them. So the at-home parent got a big part in it because they drilling whatever into the child to, you know what I mean? Or so I would just say uplift them, man. But that's for anybody in prison. Like if you got a homeboy in prison or an aunt, a cousin, whoever, just uplift them, man, because I think them people go through some tough things, man.
And the way you describe it, even though your parent is doing prison time, it's like anybody that's connected to him, everybody's doing prison time.
You bidding with him. You bidding with him.
You're being punished because he's being punished.
You bidding with him, man. Pretty much, you doing the bid with him, man. Like not so much my dad, because I was so young when he left, but my brother, 7, I've been bidding with him the whole time. Like, whatever he going through, he called me, you know what I mean? We might cry together. I send him money, you know what I mean? We talk about what's going on, fuck niggas in the streets, bitches. Like, I'm his eyes to the streets, and he my eyes letting me know what's going on in his situation and where he at. So, like, I'm bidding with him, you know what I'm saying? So, exactly. So, you're right.
Okay, so this was one of your toughest moments growing up. On the opposite end of the spectrum, as dismal as this description sound that you painted, what was the most positive outcome?
The most positive
from your upbringing, yeah. Was there a specific moment or a positive outcome out of it, out of that dark picture?
I don't want to sound like the nigga that just make it seem like, yo, my life was just so fucking hard and so much turmoil, and you know what I mean? I don't want to sound like him, because I mean, I had good times, but right off bat, like how I could tell you 4 or 5 more things in my life that was just so fucking shitty and just made me want to fucking not be here no more. But you asking me that question, I can't think of nothing that's just like, yo, when this happened, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, like, you know what I mean? As a child, right? So you saying like younger days, so I don't know.
Growing up, yeah.
Besides like family, man, like my family was just a close-knit family. Like we was poor, we didn't have much, but like love, like we would have love. So like just being around all my aunts, like it wasn't no males, like just my aunts and my mom and my grandmother. And you know what I mean, just getting to be with all my cousins and my brothers and sisters, like that shit was just love. Like, you know what I mean, you were and like other families in the neighborhood or across town or whatever would envy us, and we didn't have shit. We didn't have shit, but we just had love. So it'll look like, you know what I mean, it'll look so fun and so popping at what we got going on, but we didn't have shit going on. We didn't have shit. You know what I mean? It was times like all of us was staying in one fucking house. Like it might be 3 families in one house. We don't got no cable on that bitch. We ain't got no heat. We got the fucking oven on for the heat. But we happier than a motherfucker. When we go out that next day, we having a good ass time, whatever. Grandma cooking for all the kids in the neighborhood and come eat, whatever. So motherfuckers envy that. But in reality, like, it was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So like just family overall, that was my highlight in life is my family, man. I love my family. I do this for my family, man. Like it's bigger than just me. Like, and when this shit take off, like I just want to make sure everybody is like, you know what I mean? I wanted that to be my gift from me to them.